Okay, guys, for your eyes, take a look at the WhiteHouse.gov website. This is the White House's schedule, the president's schedule. Okay. If you will notice here, and they just added this stuff in here because none of this was there, but the president departs Hendersonville, Nevada at 2:25. The president arrives Denver, Colorado, which is where all the underground bases are at, and it's where most of the politicians are at right now. I'll try to bring you the other articles on another video where they're at right now in Denver, Colorado, where the domes are at, the deep underground bases. Then it says the president participates in the first presidential debate. First Lady also attends. Okay. Now you're going to notice that there is no schedule past this. Okay. A normal schedule looks like this. Okay. If we go a few previous weeks. Okay, that's a normal schedule. It's all filled out. It's always filled out ahead of time. And it is not. Now, do you think there's absolutely nothing that needs to be done in order to take care of business when it comes to the country? Let's go to the next week. Oh, look, 7th through the 13th. Nothing.
Hello everyone, welcome to GGN. Today is Thursday, October 4th, 2012. I'm Darko. I'm going to cover the Mideast, especially with Turkey and what's going on in Syria, Iran, and we're going to get into what's going on with Africa. But I thought I'd put this in the beginning. I saw this going on around my in my little YouTube feed, and it does make some sense as far as what's going on right now in October for the elections. I've heard of many of the things as far as the post office waiting until after the elections to basically cut a bunch of people loose, not even give them any warning. Possible conflicts and everything else breaking out after the elections. You always hear about an October surprise. Well, I guess we'll see. But so you have Congress fiscal game of chicken hurts us all. Well, that's the way they see it, right? But it says here on September 21st, when members of the U.S. House of Representatives made their earliest pre-election exit since 1960, many Americans probably figured, what's the harm? It's not like they're doing anything anyways. So yeah, Congress is taking an early break, right? Then it's all this. Networks AP cancel exit polls in 19 states, breaking from the 2 decades of tradition. This year's election exit poll is set to include surveys of voters in 31 states, not all 50, as it has for the past 5 presidential elections, according to multiple people involved in the planning. But just for those, I'm sure most of you already are aware, if you're not aware, that the way the federal government is set up, the way everything under all the laws that have been passed, the thousands of laws that have been passed, thousands of pages each, have already been passed as far as, continuity of government. In other words, they don't need elections to continue forward with this dictatorship that they have. It's all kind of just a show, right? It's a dramatized show for public consumption, so they can cancel it whenever they want. Some curious U.S. and French military deployments. It says here that talks about what I've covered before about everyone's been focused on aircraft carriers in the Pacific, but now there's actually U.S. and French military deployments in Africa, which is what I'll get into probably in the next video. U.S. troops deployed again in Iraq. So we keep hearing about scaling down in Afghanistan, and then you hear about this. A unit of U.S. Army Special Operations soldiers was recently deployed to Iraq, and more U.S. soldiers may soon be on their way, according to New York Times report on the impact of civil war in neighboring Syria is having on Iraq's fragile society and fledgling democracy, if you can call it that. Maliki has a little dictatorship over there. But also in Libya, one of the things that people kind of forgot about was that they sent Marines there, and they didn't say what type of Marines, but I was thinking about it today. If they were sending them to the embassy, which, Marines, that's their usual duty is to guard embassies, they probably were sending some recon units too. And there's a good chance that they may not even be there, that they just redeployed somewhere else in the area, in the region, because it seems like they're just abandoning Libya altogether, just like got out of Dodge. And you know where all of those, all of that stuff is going to happen, right? All like in Mali and Sudan, all those Muslim extremists and that in Libya. Where are they all going to go? Well, they're going to all head to Syria. They're going to all head to Iran. They're all going to head to Russia's doorstep, like I've been trying to cover lately. And deploying to Afghanistan, Nashua, a woman following her father's footsteps, said on Friday morning she marked the beginning of her time doing just that, taking part in her first deployment ceremony in Concord with New Hampshire's National Guard. So, more deployments? Yeah, and then Missouri Guard troops deploy for Afghanistan on life-saving mission. 19 soldiers make up an air medical evacuation unit. This is from September 29th. This is also from September 29th. And it's just like the Congress taking a break. So all this is going on around the same time. From Afghanistan to Bosnia and Kosovo, this writer tries to make the argument that a lot of these troops that were in Afghanistan and all of that infrastructure is going to be headed to the Balkans. Also, recently I covered about Afghanistan and Uzbekistan and possibly a base and moving weapons and stuff like that. I don't know if that was just a Russian disinfo plant story, but the U.S. was publicly, it was known that they were trying to get a base in Uzbekistan, possibly to be storing weapons and stuff from Afghanistan to keep it in that region near Central Asia, like I said, which has Georgia had a big deal to play with it as well, is that as far as a wild card, along with Kurdistan. And they just had elections in Georgia with they say anti-West guy won, but now he's going to be actually flying to the United States to reassure them that he is not anti-West. So, right. German command of Kosovo force renewed. Now, this is interesting. For September 7th, 2012, the German commander took command of NATO's troops in Kosovo on Friday, as flaring ethnic tensions in the majority Serb North remain challenged in the 5,600-strong force. And you're like, well, what the heck are we doing in the Kosovo and the Caucasus now that we're covering Syria? Well, I'll get to that. Germany ends its peacekeeping presence in Bosnia, September 27th. So look at just hours before the handover ceremony on September 7th, it says unknown attackers in northern Kosovo opened fire at the vehicles of the EU mission and Kosovo police. So Germany ends its peacekeeping presence on September 27th. Didn't take long, did it, in Bosnia? It says an inter-ethnic war between the country's Croatians, Muslims, and Serbs left some 100,000 people dead. And you can be rest assured that they're going to be using the same, Sunni, certain sect of Islam, I think they're like Sunnis that they use over there in Chechnya to be wreaking havoc over here as well. And I covered an article recently from StratRisk about the U.S. is preparing for basically conflicts in the Caucasus along with Russia. So, okay, so I have two videos for you here. I'm going to show you a breaking leaked video of the Free Syrian Army terrorists behind false flag attack on Turkey. Obviously, they're not showing them carrying out the attacks, but they're showing them with mortars. Also, the second video I have for you is journalists almost assassinated for exposing Turkey delivering weapons to Syrian insurgents.
الرقة تل أبيض 3/10/2012 كتائب غرباء الشام تتجهز لعملية ضد كتائب النظام الأسدي. الله أكبر والعزة لله. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. تكبير. الله أكبر. تكبير. الله أكبر. هذا قائد الكتيبة كتيبة الشهيد خطاب يتفق.
نصب قاعدة الهاوي 120 بضرب 246. الله أكبر. سرية الهاوي في مدينة أدان. الهاوي 120.
في هذا اليوم كان الاتفاق أن أواكب لواء شهداء حلب المهام الخاصة بين الأنفاق وصولا إلى مشاهدة حية لعملية قتالية في سيف الدولة. إلا أن المصادفة جعلاني شاهدة استثنائية على صفقة من صفقات العصر.
وفي هذا اليوم أيضا انقطع الاتصال بين قناة الجديد ومفادتنا إلى سوريا يمنى فوأز. وعند 9 ليلا وتزامنا مع مقتل الصحفية اليابانية تلقت الجديد اتصالات عديدة من قيادات في الجيش الحر تؤكد مقتل مراسلتنا في حلب. وبعدما طلبت القناة الاتصال بمسؤولهم على الأرض وحيلت على أبو جنادة قائد كتيبة شهداء حلب، فجاء الحديث معه على النحو التالي:
مراسلتكم يمنى فواز؟
نعم، طمنا عليها.
استشهدت مراسلتكم في حلب، قتلها النظام الغاشم. افضحوه هذا النظام الفاجر.
غرقت الجديد في السواد والحزن، وبدأ الخبر ينتشر على مختلف المواقع الاجتماعية، وأكده كذلك معظم الناشطين السوريين ومعظم المجموعات المسلحة. وعلى مدى ساعتين توالت الاتصالات المعزية. وبعد ساعتين فجأة تعود يمنى إلى الحياة لتتصل بالقناة وتطمئنها أنها في مكان آمن وصحة جيدة، ولم تدخل حتى منطقة القصف في هذا اليوم. خبر بقدر ما كان مطمئنا كان مقلقا. قررت إدارة القناة سحب يمنى فورا من سوريا، فأجرت اتصالات بجهات أمنية ومجموعات معارضة لتضمن خروج يمنى وبعلم السلطات التركية. يتيح أحد الضباط المنشقين إيصالها إلى الحدود ومن ثم إلى الجهة التركية وبمرافقة وسيط عربي، وعلى الحدود يتسلمها ضابط تركي ويطمئنها أنه سيوفر لها الحماية، إنما هناك إجراءات اعتيادية قانونية لن تتعدى ساعات قليلة ويجب اتخاذها قبل مغادرتها الأراضي التركية إلى لبنان. إلا أن يمنى لم تكن مطمئنة قط، فلهذا الضابط تحديدا قرص في شهادة يمنى النادرة على صفقة العصر. في الساعة 7 صباحا ينقطع الاتصال بيمنى على مدى 3 أيام، ويفقد أي تواصل أو خبر عنها.
بالعودة إلى ذلك اليوم الاثنين في 20 من آب 2012 تشابك أحداث لا مجموعة مصادفات. ففي مساء ذلك اليوم نقصد أكثر المناطق حساسية، وهي نقطة استثنائية حدودية في الأراضي السورية تشهد على أعمال السلطات التركية، منطقة تسليم السلاح، وهي لا تبعد من منطقة أطمي سوى دقائق. توجهنا إليها مع بعض المقاتلين بين السهول ووصلنا إلى حد فاصل بين الحدود التركية السورية حيث الأسلاك الشائكة. الانطباع الأول مشهد سينمائي يتجسد في واقع، سهل مظلم مملوء بأشجار الزيتون، جموع من المسلحين، ضوء خافت يومد أحيانا من إحدى الشاحنات، شاحنات محملة بالأسلحة، وكل مجموعة سورية تأخذ نصيبها وتذهب، ومجموعات مسلحة تتوزع على جوانب السهل. طلب مني عدم التصوير، إلا أن ضخامة المشهد حرك فضولي الصحفي. جلت بينهم ألتقط الفيديو بالخفاء، وفي أثناء ذلك يتقدم أحدهم يتكلم الإنجليزية ويسأل عن سبب وجود أنثى في المكان، ليكتشف أن هويتها لبنانية وعلى الأرجح صحفية، فيصرخ بالمجموعة:
It's a big mistake. I will tell my friends.
وبعد ذلك مباشرة يتم تعزيز الجيش التركي على الحدود وتمنع إحدى المجموعات من العودة إلى أنطاكيا، لتعلم القناة بعد ساعات بخبر مقتل مراسلتها في سوريا. وبعد منتصف الليل وتحديدا عند الساعة 3:30 فجرا تقوم مجموعة بنقل يمنى إلى الحدود بهدف إخراجها من سوريا كي لا يتم قتلها. وهنا كانت المفاجأة. تم تسليم يمنى فواز للضابط التركي نفسه الذي كان متواجدا داخل الحدود السورية يشرف على عملية توزيع السلاح، والذي اشتد غضبه حين رآها في المنطقة المحظورة.
يعني كانت مفاجأة، بل أنا في يقول إنه كانت صدمة، لأنه هو ذات الضابط التركي اللي كان أثناء عملية تسليم السلاح للمعارضة السورية هو ذاته اللي عم يجي اللي يقول إنه أنا حأنقذك من التصفية اللي بدها تتم لك جوا. كان إنه اخترت إنه لضابط تركي تاني بياخدوا كل الفيديوهات، بياخدوا الكاميرات، بياخدوا كل الاشياء اللي كانت معي. بنتوجه على اوتيل اسمه انطاكيا على اساس التحقيق ما بده يتعدى نص ساعه، بيمتد بعدين ليوم ليومين لثلاثه. وكان كمان في مفاجاه ثانيه انه هو اول سؤال بينسال لي هو
And she finished by saying most of the questions were about political, religious parties in Lebanon. Thank you.